Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Leader from the Abomination Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have Leader displayed in the front window with his Build-A-Figure piece, and then down at the bottom we get the Marvel logo and then Marvel's Leader on the red band there. On the side we do get some artwork there of Leader with his hands just together there, looking quite evil. That is going to be the same artwork on both sides. On the back we get that artwork expanded upon, again with his hands there just looking very menacing, and we get a very brief read-up. Gamma radiation turns Samuel Stearns into the hyper-intelligent menace, the Leader. And at the bottom we have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at the Leader. And here is Leader outside of his packaging. And let me start off by saying that I always like getting villains for the Marvel Legends collection. I feel like we don't get enough villains, so having more of those is always a good thing. And of course we get a classic Hulk villain here. So that is very cool that we got that. Now with that being said, that's about all this figure is good for, is just rounding up a villains line. The figure itself is a repaint of the Mr. Fantastic, the Walgreens exclusive Mr. Fantastic body, which is a good body for him. We get some molded pieces there for the belt and the piece that goes on his upper torso. Obviously, we get a new head sculpt, and then that's it. We don't get any extra hands. We get the one hand that at least has some sort of gesture that we could, put to his head to make him look like he's thinking, or hold out as if he was doing his telekinesis. And then we get a gripping hand for, I guess, if we want to give him a gun. Just an open gesture hand or a fist for that right hand. Really, I would have preferred that, in all honesty. Now, in standing straight up, though, Leader is coming in at 6 5/8 inches tall, which makes him about 16.8 centimeters. So that's that big cranium of his there, tipping him up in the height category there. But like I said, he only comes with the Build-A-Figure piece, which we'll look at later. So let's go ahead and just jump in here, look at the paint and sculpt on Leader. And getting up close here, we can see a pretty decent looking head sculpt. I mean, my only real complaint is his expression. Just this neutral, plain, boring expression. I would have preferred something with maybe some clenched teeth, some anger. But otherwise, the paint looks like it's aligned. Mostly good. A little bit off there on the goatee, and a little bit off around the ear. But you get those furrowed brow sculpted lines, we get the crow's feet around his eyes, and then we get those big veins on his forehead. So no complaints there. Looking at the body, so this is that Mr. Fantastic body as mentioned, which I actually do like this sculpt. We get these fabric stretch lines as opposed to it just being a skin-tight muscle outfit there, so I do like that. But that's the odd thing about that sculpt is it had the detachable arms for the Mr. Fantastic piece, so he's got detachable arms as well. And then you'll notice too, look at that. They painted, or not painted, but they used two different color plastics for my disc joint there. So take your arms off of yours if you have one. Let me know if yours has two different colors. I'm curious. And then as mentioned, we get this gripping hand here on the right hand side, and then just sort of this open gesture hand, which at least we get, that's one downside to this sculpt. Every time I move it, it wants to pop off. But that is one good thing about this hand, is it can be used for like the telekinesis. It can be used to put up there to his head for thinking, critical thinking. But otherwise, this figure's not doing much in terms of action. All orange down there. This is going to be cast in yellow and then painted orange, and unfortunately, not the best paint job. And speaking of paint job, a little bit of a miss there on the black piece, which that's all the paint. So you got that black piece, and then you got the legs with the orange piece, and obviously the head. This piece is the belt, can move around, and then this piece, you could actually take it off if you want to, since you can slide the arms off. But, I mean, it's just a little hunk of plastic sitting over him. So not a whole lot going on with this guy. Now, looking at the articulation, his head obviously can go all the way around, can look down quite a ways, can look up quite a ways as well. Doesn't have a ton of rock there. It's got a little bit, actually. Arms can come up a little past 90, not bad. Full rotation. And, of course, the arm fell all the way down. Full rotation. You have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and then rotation and a hinge there with the flexion and extension. And then you're going to have an ab crunch. That's not too bad. Forward and backwards, and backwards not much. Waist swivel, legs that can come apart, meh. Kick forward, not bad. Backwards, that's fine. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knee, and then he does have a hinge and ankle pivot. And that is going to do it for this review, everyone. So as you can probably tell, I'm not really overly impressed by this figure. It's kind of like I said, most people are probably going to get it because we either want more villains in my collection or in their collection, which I do, and it is good to have those character-specific villains. So in this case, we don't have a ton of Hulk villains, so it's good to get another Hulk villain in there. So that's about all this guy is good for. He's not really going to do a ton of dynamic posing anyway, just because of the character himself, or at least in the action shot, and certainly not going to be doing too much because we don't get fists or anything to really help him interact with other figures in any meaningful way. So that is probably the biggest disappointment. Those arms were driving me nuts, though. I feel like I can't touch his arm, specifically this left arm. I can't touch it without that coming out of the socket. So that is really annoying, but I mean, I do like the body sculpt, though. I think they picked the right body because the alternative would have been the Pizza Spidey body, and I think that wouldn't have fit. I think this works really well. But with that being said, that is it. I know this review was brief, but there wasn't a whole lot to look at. But if you like the review either way, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more content just like this, and as always, thanks for watching my videos, and have a great day.